Big Ed Mustafa.
Then you are in the right place. Hi, everybody. I'm Big Ed Mustafa, and this is Adventures After Dark. Thanks for joining me tonight, and thank you for the Everescent Druid's Fire for having such a great stream right before I go on, getting all you guys all revved up, and hopefully you'll continue to hang with me throughout the night. Got kind of a little bit of a different stream. I had an epiphany I wanted to share with everybody tonight. I've been lamenting over the last quite a few weeks. Boy, I wish they would do something with crafting. It's a shame crafting hasn't gotten any love. And then I finished up getting celebrated with the host of the West and having to work on the rep for the different sub-factions. And all of a sudden, it occurred to me that refresh the stream is live, folks. There you go. Starting off solid with crafting. It's going to be crafting heavy because the epiphany is that the North Athelian rep that you need, and I'll pull up my reputation here. If you're a true crafter, this armor, weapons, and provisions rep that you need to get your jewelry and your gear ramped up, this was designed for crafters. I had no idea how easy this was going to be for me. I'd mentioned before that I have 6 characters here on Arkenstone, and all of them are Master Honorian crafters. Well, I can generate enough crafting materials just from going out and running the daily material instance dungeons to keep everybody fat and happy on crafting materials and generate gobs of the stuff. And I'm going to walk through it real quick. We might pop on to Little Ed Mustafa, do some burglaring later. I have an exciting announcement about that, too. I want to tell you guys about a new project that All Up and I have been talking about. And let's just say if you've got a burglar on Brandywine, you might have a reason to dust it off. So we'll talk about that a little later, but I do actually want to kick things off with crafting tonight, because I know that if there's one thing Lotro fans do not get enough of on Lotro stream, raiding, big deal, everybody raids. We just got done with Summerfest. Even fishing's not that new and exciting, but true hardcore crafting, you guys are going to love it, or I'm a complete idiot. It could be both. We'll find out. But yeah, this rep with the Host of the West stuff, we're going to pop out there and run through the crafting material instances real quick, and we'll see what I get for Hobbit presents. So if you haven't entered a guess, go ahead and do it, but since nobody typed in massive copper pile of scraps, I don't have to give a new car away tonight, so I'm excited about that. Nobody won.
What can I do for you?
You guys had a fair chance. I don't understand why more people didn't enter. So let's sell our massive pile of scraps. And I did cheat up a little bit. I did some crafting last night and I left the items in here. We're going to go get some more materials, and I'm going to show you guys that if you do your crafting and you have a crafting circle on your server where you kind of everybody feeds everybody crafting materials and you level everybody up, this is where it pays dividends. I thought this was going to take me weeks and months to accomplish, and this is one of the easiest grinds I've ever had to go through. I mean, it's gone super quickly. I'm already allied with the weaponsmith, and I just decided to finish them first. So we're going to do bunches and bunches of crafting, and it's going to be super easy. And I'm looking forward to it. So we are going to go kill some stuff. I wouldn't be Big Ed Mustafa without murdering some orcs. So why not both, JPEG? Exactly. So here we go. Gonna ride my invisible war steed out. Oh, there's Thunderhoof. Just took a second to draw in. Oh. See, now, one of the first things that I figured out is if you're out here in the wastes and you're collecting crafting nodes, these daggerlid scrap deposits, 3 classes, or I should say 3 vocations you never have to worry about crafting materials for. You're going to pull all of the jewelry, weapon crafting, and armor crafting materials that you could want. There's going to be plenty of the basic stuff. You're going to have plenty of it to spread around. So when you do the crafting material instances, the main things you're going to want to focus on are going to be battle plan relics for your historian, your scholar. You're going to want to get cloth for your tailor, and you're going to want to get wood for your wood crafter. And if you pull that stuff off of the instances, you'll just pick enough of the daggerlid scraps piles to keep your metalsmith, your weaponsmith, and your jewelers busy. You won't have any problems with that. Oh, the other thing was caps of evergleam. Cooking materials are also more sparse. So you've got 6 daily solo crafting instances to go do, or I should say quests rather. There's only 2 instance dungeons, and if you go through them, you're automatically going to get wood, and not in the good way. I just mean wood for crafting purposes, for those of you following along at home. But in this case, the crafting materials are still good. So really, you just need to make sure that you're keeping your tailor and your scholar stocked up, and you're golden. And it's easy to do if you just run these instances. So we're going to run the instances. I'm going to spread the materials around, and you can see what the crafting looks like. And if that doesn't put you guys to sleep, then maybe we'll go actually do some further adventuring with little Ed later. So basically, here's the 2 instance dungeons. You've got Tower of the Teeth, and you've got whatever the heck that says.
You help bear my burden, friend.
Scoirunk. Now the trick for me, see, this is what I mean when I say you automatically get reclaimed Athelian lumber. That's the wood crafting material. And the metal scrap is a minor turn-in for rep points. So when you go do this dungeon, it'll automatically give you 2 more quests within the instance. And those are pick your crafting material type quests.
The Rangers of Athelion have sent you to drive
Loader Master, howdy.
Of the caverns of Scoirok.
And fishes? You cannot get fish in the wastes. I have tried Telerian. I'm protesting Mordor because I hear there's no fishing in Mordor. Like that pond right there, normally I'd be able to fish that. Not here. Where's that fishing pole? Even with a Rohirric fishing rod, facing that water, no joy, doesn't count. I can be standing ankle deep in it and it won't let me fish. So that makes me sad. But as long as I'm here, let's go ahead and pop a few basic buffs. Anorian warding lore, Anorian battle lore. We'll eat a feast of the 7-star stew. And I've been trying to use up some of the, the stuff that you kind of take for granted. Max morale and power. I have 27 of these that are bound to character, so I may as well burn them. And then where's the +5 damage? No, that's run boost. +5 attack damage. Bound to account. I've got 16 of those left. Don't really need them, but may as well use them. So we got that going on. I'll go ahead and put the fishing pole back. So basically all you have to do here, first of all, make sure you're on a combat toolbar before you go into combat. That can be very important. But the other nice thing about these crafting instance dungeons, starting college August 28th. That's exciting. College is fun. It's nice to be able to study what you want to study. My knitting project back says clean up or cheaper than therapy on it. See? Perfect. That's exactly right. We got one more raider. Now, a lot of you are probably asking yourselves, Big Ed Mustafa, why would you run into combat and not have a combat toolbar up? That's a great question, and I do have a simple answer.
Not a smart man.
So there you have it. You've heard me say it before, and I'm sure I'll say it again. I am not a smart man. So this mysterious ore thing, there's 8 of those to find. But even while you're running through the instance here, you've got more crafting nodes to mine out. Now I haven't been through the landscape on my hunter. And I imagine if you have wood crafting and you're out collecting gnarled branches, you wouldn't have the trouble collecting wood that I have. They probably also drop cloth. So maybe the reason I think some materials are more scarce than others are simply because I haven't been using the right collection tools. So that'll be interesting to try on Nemini. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I may come up, bring her out here and run her through this. So basically you just have to run through this dungeon. It's pretty linear. There's some larvae to kill. There's some ore samples to collect. There's the larva. Moonrager, howdy. Good to see you. Elder James, glad you're back. Always glad to see Southern Belle here as well. And welcome to Peyton Winks 10. Yellow line better for this type of thing, I think. I mostly play red line. Hi, Aurora Embers. Ember. Eldolith risking her good reputation by hanging out with me tonight. Glad to see Eldolith. Eldolith and I used to hang out all the time, and then she had to move half a world away, so now we're in completely different time zones. I don't get to hang out with her that much. Yep. I do have some Xing Xing skills equipped on the lower end of the trait tree. I mix a little bit of yellow line in with my red line. So it works for me. And I think I have yellow line equipped. I just don't play it enough to be familiar with it. Someday I'll actually spend the time to sort it all out. But like Aragorn said, this is not that day. This day we fight. We fight orcs and we do it in red line. And I suppose if I were really smart, I have... well, I'll go through my weapons here in a little bit just for fun so you guys can see what I'm up to. I am playing on Arkenstone tonight for the time being. I may switch over to Brandywine later. And I just knocked one of my skills off of my tree. So, which one am I missing? The slugs are useless. They don't even happen to drop good task items. But if you accidentally aggro them, you have to fight them anyway. Another crafting node. Eldolus says, I believe he's on Arc currently. I am. So, as a rule, Elder James, anytime you find yourself agreeing with me on like trait line stuff or playing style, rethink what you're doing. Because it's like I mentioned before, there's one thing that everybody should keep in mind.
Not a smart man.
So there you have it. If you ever catch yourself saying, I do what Big Ed does, just investigate a little more. You might be on the wrong track. So I will make you guys this promise, even though I am not a smart man. I normally fight two-handed on foot. I've got a one-handed first age sword that I've imbued. I'm still working up the imbuing rep. And I've got an offhand. I am also leveling up a two-handed first age. And I will equip that out for Yellow Line. Although I think I've already picked mostly red line stuff on it. I've got plenty of time to switch it out. It's not a big deal. So I've gotten all of my ore samples already. That seems fairly quick. That's a good thing. Hello, maggots. Hey, the Buddha Fist. How's it going? Well, if you want company on ARC or BW, let me know. I'll jump in and help. Very nice, Moon Rager. I will let you know. You just lost a skill and didn't see quick enough what it was. I'll find it later. More foes occupy. Remorseless Strike is usually my big hitter, so if I didn't dump that, I'm okay. I don't even remember what comes after that on the skill bar. Also, don't be like Big Ed Mustafa. You should lock your skill bar so that doesn't happen to you. It also wouldn't happen to you if you actually just used keyboard to activate your skills. You risk doing that if you're a mouse clicker like me. I was prattling on about some stuff. One of the other nice things about the Slayer or the instance dungeons here for crafting materials, there's actually a Slayer deed for killing so many foes inside the instances. So not all of them count. Like the maggot larvae, you can kill 10,000 of them and it won't add up. But the The orcs, there's actually a tally for killing those. Oh no, it is my big hit skill that I lost. Remorseless Strikes is a good one, but it's the other one. Okay, we need to get that one back up. What did I blow off of here? I'm terrible at even remembering the names of the skills. I've been playing this champion for like 6 straight years. Not Raging Blade. Not Devastating Strike. Not Hamstring. Not Brutal Strikes. Ferocious Strikes. That sounds about right. Yeah. I lost Ferocious Strikes. I call that my goodbye button. If I hit something with Ferocious Strikes, it is not long for this world. So that's like one of my favorites. Anyway, so these Mordor Raiders over here. I must have finished this one. But they have a Slayer deed for killing orcs in the 2 dungeons. There's the goodbye button. He went goodbye. And he went goodbye. So there's a lot of rewards and very little downside to working these instances on a daily basis. And they're both pretty quick. They give you an hour to complete them. And I think I get through these in about 10-15 minutes, killing everything. Although yesterday I got sloppy and I actually died once in each of the 2 instance dungeons. I uttered some words that normally get me scolded by Mrs. Mustafa, but she was out of earshot. And I don't even really need to be in here. Okay, we'll move on. I had been coming in and wiping everybody out because I wanted to get the Slayer deed done, and I did. So we'll just keep the party moving. Hello. Southern Belle says I lock mine and have a hotkey for the lock-unlock toggle. That's smart. Big Ed, we've warned you about locking your skill bar. I know, I should know better. So the caps of Evangleam that you need for the cooking crafting, you can find on Landscape, but they're very rare. Here he is. Okay. So there's an orc boss in the back of the room that I just need to kill to complete this instance. And then we're out of here. I got all of my maggots, and I got all of my ore samples. I just want to regain a little bit of power before I head into the fight. Oh, I aggroed the boss. So let's go kill the Defiler. And usually if I just throw in a second wind here and there, I can get right back on track. I'm also trying to remember to hit my Battle Frenzy more often. That was a tip I got from Bloodborne. It was like, Battle Frenzy's everything, and I hadn't been using it, so... That's why it's important to stream Lotro, so people can tell you what you're doing wrong and help you improve your game. It's up to you to listen to them, of course, which I only do occasionally. But not because I don't get good advice. Clicker hype. Clicker for life. So, Glugor's dead. That was the 4th quest, or the 3rd one for this instance. And the lockbox. I have some brittle lockpicks. And you get brittle lockpicks from the herbalists. I don't want the Lotro store open. Thank you, though. Looks like I need to throw something away. That cooking scroll can go. Oh, nice. Ranger's journals. I picked up 2 of them. One for metalsmithing and one for weaponsmithing. Those are also very easy to come by. And it might be because I just pick up so many of those prospecting nodes. Now, in a perfect world, I would have more pack space. But let's go ahead and pitch a couple of items. Champion sword. Goodbye. Another champion sword. Goodbye. Items so legendary, you're excited to throw them away. And if you have the lock picks, you can also loot the loot boxes. The locking mechanism gives way, breaking your lock pick as it opens. A set of lock picks costs 20 gold and 20 violet essences at the herbalist, but it lets you unlock extra crafting material. Pouch of Athelian essence fragments, and a box of war supplies, or war materials. And then once you're done, just leave the instance. It'll take you right back to the Rangers camp. Same as Bell. Deeds or fishing, can't go wrong. I may not come for trait trees, but I'll go to him for deed knowledge. I do like to do my deeds. So once we're done here, when you turn in the quest, this is where you can pick whichever crafting materials you're short on. And like I said, because I'm a prospector, I've got tons of weaponsmith, armor scraps, and the onyx that the jewelers use. I usually have to pick up cooking. Rush cloth is for tailoring. Battle plans for scholar. And the reclaimed lumber is for woodworker. Now the problem I have is I'm free to play, and as a free to play player I don't have mail everywhere, so we'll probably just jettison some more crap. Champion Spear of the First Age, goodbye. Most of the rest of my allies are legit. There's my set of brittle lockpicks. I've got one left to use later. Universal Toolkit. My Scholar has 2 extras stored away, and I think all of my characters have as good or better. When you've got an Honorian Master or Metalsmith, you don't really need the Universal Toolkits. The stuff you can craft is actually better. Okay, so at least I've got a couple of slots. So let's go here and let's pick up Rush cloth? Now one of the other things it gave me was broken blade, and I can just crush that instantly for rep. And that was worth 100 rep points. The pouch of Athelian essence fragments, I can open that. Not quickly, of course. And that is good for an essence fragment. I'm going to turn the in-game music down a little bit. I know everybody's excited about Chance Thomas coming back for Mordor, but in my humble opinion, the music for North Athelion and for the Wastes has been really good also. I don't know who did it, of course, but I've enjoyed the music in both areas. So that having been said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. We're at 30, and I'm just going to mix that down to, we'll go 20. I don't want to mute it completely since I think it's good music. I like the music in the Woses area too. We'll pick up some more battle plans for the Scholar. I think I'm going to pick up more mushrooms. You get salt. And what's kind of cool about it is it gives you a little bit of extra rep with whichever faction that kind of goes with. And if you're really careful, so I can go straight on to the next
Let us hope you bring glad
instance dungeon. Kryles, howdy. Bumbles, good to see you.
The Rangers of Athelion seek your intrepid aid in breaking the lidless vigil that the Towers of the Teeth keep over the plain of Dagorlad. From within.
Gamer Gramp, howdy. Katriana, howdy. Zinger, howdy. Nice, you got a full inventory bag just in time for Mordor. I'm super excited about it. Tiger King 65 in the house. So yeah, great to see everybody tonight. We're just talking about the crafting system for North Athelion sub-factions and how it actually rewards crafters who don't mind the crafting grind. So we're just going to wade in. This time I'm actually in a combat stance. So that's a nice change of pace. Now the dudes you have to watch for in here, the warriors are a little bit tough. Most of these are just sort of general typical orcs, not particularly dangerous. The warriors are a little bit more stout. But the war leaders, if you get a couple of warriors or black arrows and a war leader on you, it can be a lot to tackle. And I kind of kept the mistake of pressing too hard yesterday and got dropped once or twice. So I'll try not to do that if I can help it. Yeah, here we go. We've got a Towers of the Teeth enemies beneath Slayer Deed. And if you kill 240 of them while you're in the instances, good things happen. So we'll look into that too. He did not make it. There's also a treasure chest item I'm looking to collect in here. I think I need 8 of those. It's like there'll be one over here probably, or not. Oh, it's weird I haven't run into one yet. See, there's that war leader walking back over there by the ramp. If you get mixed up with him and you got too many of these other, what are these guys considered, signature? You get a couple of signatures on you and then one of the war leaders, and it's a little bit much to chew on. See, the war leaders are also signatures, and they've got double morale. So, not overly dangerous. They do hit hard. You just have to be a little bit careful with them. Don't let too many things pile up on you when you're fighting them. Yeah, Gifts of Rune. For some reason, I'm 0 of 8. I haven't run across a single one yet. It's a little annoying. There's usually one or two upstairs where I came in. Hopefully they'll start to pop up down here. Yep, here's one. He did not make it. What's all the colored bars on the left-hand side of the screen? That's my legendary item experience tracker. They're 1 through 10. I've got 10 legendary items. A few of them are maxed out, but I have them up anyway to remind me. I've got a light bridle that I've got at max experience. I haven't wasted a scroll of delving or anything on it yet. But I want to try the light bridle and play around with mounted combat on a light war steed with the champ. I have not done that, and my champ has always been on a heavy war steed. So I haven't done my due diligence in playing around with different war steed setups to see what I like the best. And I think that would be a good idea. So for those of you who have level cap characters and you're getting ready for the wastes, naturally this is all old hat. You've probably been doing this longer than I have. And I know I'm not the only crafter on the stream team, so... Uh-oh, I accidentally aggroed a rabid slag bat. Hopefully I'll survive. That worked out well for me. Tellurian says, out of curiosity, do you know how many LPs you spent over your playtime and thus earned as well? No, I don't. Oh, Lotro points I've spent? No, I don't have a counter for that. I've got no clue. It's been a bunch, though. I mean, what's nice about the Lotro points is they're per account, so all of the Lotro points I've grounded Crick Hollow and Brandywine and on Silver Load before it closed, all of those get piled into the account. That's always my advice. If you want to play free to play, don't just play a couple of different characters. At the very least, start off with playing one of each class so you can find out which classes you like. Share the crafting materials amongst them, level them up. It doesn't have to be strictly together, but kind of together is not a bad way to go. And a lot of people find crafting a grind. I'll give you a hint. If when you go to level up your crafting skill, you already have a giant pile of crafting materials that another one of your characters stockpiled for you, then it's really not a problem at all. You just walk into the crafting hall, select what you want to craft, and then hit click and go make yourself a sandwich. It's really pretty easy. Another Gifts of Rune. We don't want to upset the bat. There's lots of stuff in here that you don't need to kill, crawlers and bats and little fuzzy things. But you want to look around, make sure you don't miss any of those chests of rune. And we're spreading out the signatures. One of the other skills I don't see a lot of champions use that I really like is the hamstring. You will kneel before me. I just like the idea of dropping an enemy to his knees while we're in the middle of a fight. And I'm guessing my cooked food might have dropped already. Looks like it. I'm running out of power fairly quickly, so we will grab a bite to eat. And yes, inventory management will be part of tonight's stream. Not that any of you ever doubted it. So... blah, 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 a couple of black arrows. You'll taste your own blood when you slide under a gas truck and die. It's an old Sam Kinison line. I hope you slide under a gas truck and taste your own blood. He was funny. Excellent. It's a gift of rune. Wow, autocorrect killed me there. R.I.P. Silverload. Ed, go look at your Discord. Okay. What is up in Discord? Ooh, Coke Zero and rum. Yes, as All Up Enya has been kind enough to point out, Coke Zero does go very well with rum. So I don't have any rum. I do have Coke Zero. And am I dropping loot? Nope, not sure what that was. Oh, maybe it's that the regular orcs don't count. I have to kill 240 urukai. That sounds a bit tedious. Yeah, the urukai have the Slayer deed on them, not the regular orcs. Which is okay. I think if you're going to complete a Slayer deed, it should be an awesome Slayer deed. One of my favorite titles in the game is Warlord of Angmar. Back in the day, you had to kill 450 urukai in Angmar to get that title. They have lowered it considerably since then. But it's still a great title. Yeah, if you end up getting temporarily disarmed, just go ahead and use the time to hit Second Wind, take a breath, and then when you get your attack abilities back, you'll also have the power to use them. We're just hacking and slashing our way through here. Killing the larva does me no good in this particular instance, but they're in the way and they aggro, so I have to cut through them the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna have to kill all of them. The foundation of Narcoast is overrun with the enemy. And it's okay that I aggro a couple of slag crawlers by using AoE. They drop good task items, so if you're doing task item turn-ins, crawlers are actually a pretty good kill. They give off a lot of reeking filth and prismatic carapaces. And they will help you get your task items turned in. Telerian spent 112,267 Lotro points in the store since the beginning of free-to-play. That's not bad. Ah! Yeah, Bumbles remembers Sam. You aren't leet unless you say eggs self ent. Oh, egg cell ent. Your friend Evil Twin has just started watching. Hi, Evil Twin. How are you? Boy, we got a great crowd in here tonight. I am just boring everybody with crafting details in the wastes. I had an epiphany, Evil Twin, that they actually gave us some crafting love out here in the wastes, and I didn't realize it until I started working on my sub-faction rep, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to be hard at all. This is easy. Yeah, alright, we'll leave those last couple of crawlers alone. They're not of any particularly big benefit. We got a warrior over here. And we've attracted a slag bat. And that'll also pull the crawler. We're definitely doing okay on item experience so far. Stopping by, heading off to bed. Have a good night, Evil Twin. Bumbles is watching me and Lyriana. Very lulling. Yeah, one of my bragging rights, Evil, is that I'm like the Ambien of Lotro streamers. If you hang out and watch me stream long enough, it'll put you right to sleep. And we've got 7 of 8 Gifts of Rune. Oh, that's weird. There's normally a couple archers right at the top of that ramp. And if there's Gifts of Rune over here, I come and kill everybody. If there's not, I normally skip this platform. We're very near the boss, finally. And I only need one of the 2. So that's 2 of the 3 done. Lots of scholar nodes in here too. He did not make it. Alright, we got one more lockbox. This is where I'm going to get into trouble because I am just choking on loot. So we got a black arrow, 2 black arrows, a boss, and this raider. I'm going to back out of here, because that'll help draw one of the black raiders away from the boss, or black arrows away from the boss. This is where I'm finally a little smarter than I was yesterday, because I got in trouble trying to take all of these guys on at the same time. And we're basically ready to wade in and go full blast at these guys. Alright, boss is down. Come on. There we go. And his little dog too. And I need 2 pack slots. What do I have to throw away? Boy, it's getting a little tough. A Guardian's belt, I definitely don't need that. What else is worth throwing away? Or consuming? May as well throw this Enorian bound loot box away. Kind of luck I have on those things. They drive me batty. Scrolls of Finesse. Extraordinary Experience. Enhanced XP supply. There we go. So we managed to pick the loot box. I am now out of picks again, which is okay. You don't need to use them every time. They're just handy. And we can leave the instance. Okay, this is where the crafting fun begins, boys and girls. I'm super excited. Rampavams, hi! Moonrager's heading out too. Yeah, thanks for coming by, man. Hopefully we'll see you around. Although he's going to miss my big 40 Thieves announcement. I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Hopefully it'll be a big deal. I would love for it to be a big deal. And I think I want a little extra wood. And the reason is I have 2 wood crafters, my armsman and my woodsman. Are you going to come over and say hi to everybody there, little one?
Tummy hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mrs. Mustafa has declined to greet you and is not going to say hello at this time. She says instead that her tummy hurts. So, speedy recovery to Mrs. Mustafa. We went out to an airplane club meeting at the field tonight, and she was eating hot dogs and probably just overdid it. Wow. Poplar branches, scrolls. Okay, so we've got it whittled down to mostly crap. So we have gotten all of the daily instance stuff done that I can do for crafting materials. And we got a nice variety of stuff. So we're just going to pop to... I just normally go to Dull Amaranth for the sake of variety. It's a full-service town. Wife says try some peppermint, Mrs. M. I can vouch for peppermint. Hi, Dell. She'll bounce back. If she eats too many brats and her tummy feels bad, she just keeps eating brats until her tummy feels good again. One year for her birthday, I told her I would take her anywhere she wanted for dinner, and she picked W.C. Frank's, which is an old hot dog franchise. We don't have any more around town. It was a very cheap birthday date. Okay, so... now comes the fun part. I've got all these crafting goodies, so I need to distribute them. We're going to send the Weaponsmith's Journal and whatever I've collected for weaponsmith scraps, dagger lead weapon scraps, and we're going to send a little bit of wood. And that was down here. So I'm going to split the stack. I'm going to split the stack. Still splitting the stack. There we go. And I'm going to send 6 of the wood to Nemini, my burglar. She's an armsman. Not Nemini. Mirabella. Nemini is my woodsman. There we go. And anything else that would be good for her? Wasn't able to pick up a whole lot, so we have in the loot bag. And she won't really need this scroll, but we'll send it to her anyway. Okay. Now for my woodsman, we're going to loot the poplar branch. We're going to loot the woodworking scrolls. And we may as well loot the soil. And I'm going to throw those in. See, we're doing inventory management while we prepare for crafting. It's very efficient adventuring, boys and girls. The rest of the wood. That is that reclaimed Athelian lumber. We'll send all of that to Nemini. And just like magic, all of a sudden the pack space starts to open up. Audrafina is my rune keeper. She is also an Honorian master jeweler. Thank you. Our snack for this evening? Cheez-Its. Go ahead and say hi, honey. And you're supposed to wave at them. I know they appreciate you blocking my face, but you can just wave, honey. You can even do a pageant wave. You don't have to put that much effort into it. Just wave to the folks. Mrs. Mustafa says hi, everybody. All up in yous in chat. All right, sweetie. Why don't you go lay back down? Nobody thinks you're annoying. Thanks for the Cheez-Its, though. That was Mrs. Mustafa. Larry Anna sends his regards. He's just signing off. Hi, Darlick.
Who's Darlick?
All fear the hand. I don't know where those fingers have been, Gamer Gramp. I will not lick them. Anyway. The heck else were we doing? Some Honorian herb. Jeweler stuff. How are we doing on mushroom caps? I got 12. We can send a little bit more onyx Audrafina's way. Split the pile. We're splitting the pile. We'll go 50. So we'll send that to my other jeweler. We got all kinds of goodies to distribute still. We got a tailoring scroll. And I picked up some more rush cloth. So where did we put our rush cloth? Inventory management is hard. Honorian ingots. Zircons. Bunch of crap. More crap. Task items, scrolls and cosmetics, heritage ruins. Seriously? I had to slide it off to make sure I didn't accidentally open it either. I wanted to do neither. Black barley, zircons. I'm not in overflow yet. There's the rush cloth. I don't know why I was derping on that so hard. And then any metalsmithing scraps I might have picked up. That's weird, but I don't think I got any more metalsmithing scraps. Yeah, don't need to worry about them that much anyway. They'll turn up. Okay. So, we'll just send that off to Shanaria. Shanaria is a guardian. She is my metalsmith and tailor. And then Lenorian. Oh, that's right. Box of war materials. We have more goodies. Salt. Metal scraps. Box of war materials. Salt. Metal scraps. Maybe I didn't pick up any more battle plans. Let's assume I did not. So I am tired of staring at this bag of crap. Combat run boosts. Useless, 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 useless. Alright, I think that's enough staring at the screen. We'll just send that off to Lenorian. And we can pick up the rest of the loot, even though it's junk. So, here's the beautiful part. Every single day, you can run those instances, get all that crafting material, spread it out amongst all your crafters, and then go crafting. Who would have thunk? So, Big Ed Mustafa goes to Jeweler, Host of the West. My large set of refined onyx is on timeout. And I don't have any jeweler's journals anyway. So we'll just go for the regular one. And this is where you want to make sure that your scholar's keeping everybody up to snuff with crafting scrolls. We'll just pop a scroll of Westament Tinker's Lore. Gets my percentage chance up to 42 to crit. If you don't crit, it's 500 XP or rep points worth of stuff. If you do crit, and I did, that's worth 1,500. Now what I should have done was come over to the supplier, because what I need for cooking is going to be a bottle of water, a large clay pot, and uncooked bacon. And then I can run over to the oven, go to cook, go to Host of the West, Dagger Lad Provisions, and I even got that all done before my scroll ran out. Got a 42% chance to crit. So, did not crit that time. So I got 1,500 in jewelry rep, and I got 500 off cooking. So that's 2,000 for Galandriel. And we're going to go park Galandriel by the mailbox. So, I've talked about crafting circles before, and everybody's like, oh yeah, crafting's boring. What's the point of a crafting circle? You are about to see. if you're out in the wastes and you're grinding away on this stuff and you're wishing that you could just hit yourself in the face with a hammer because you're never going to be done with it, you're about to be super jealous. Hopefully some of you guys have crafting circles of your own. You've gone through this. I can go right down the line with each of the characters. Come on, server. You can do it, Arkenstone. There we go. We'll just do it in alphabetical order. We'll go to Audrafina next. You'll notice everybody is parked in a crafting hall at the moment. So I told Olip the other night that I've been having a crafting orgy on Arkenstone, and this is what I mean. It's just been craft, 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 craft. I've actually been loving it. It's nice to have a reason to craft, and it actually gave me an excuse. Audrafina's been maxed out on jewelry crafting for quite a while, but I hadn't bothered to finish her cooking tiers. And I was like, oh, I've got to get her up to Honorian cook, and that way she can do the cooking stuff too. So I've got her equipped for both. We're going to go to the provisioner. I'm going to be smart and to buy the bottle of water. Bottle of water. Large clay pots. And piece of uncooked bacon. Now you also need black barley flour or winter barley, whatever the hell flour I have on me that's part of the cooking recipe. I'll tell you in a moment. Let's go to cook. Like I said, I just got her skill up to where we just hit Honorian. But that's all you need. It automatically gives you the Host of the West recipes, at least the basics. And black barley flour, that's the other ingredient. But I farmed the black barley flour, and I've got both of my jewelers have a stockpile of it for cooking purposes. Let's see, I don't know if I've got any usable scrolls, at least not for cooking. I think she's got Supreme Jeweler scrolls. We'll save that for jewelry. So I've only got actually I have no chance to crit here because my cooking skill isn't high enough. In fact, she only has 10 points because this is the only Honorian cooking she's ever done. That's okay. We'll take our 500 rep and roll on. And then I can come over to the workbench. We'll pop a jeweler scroll. Switch over to the jeweler line. 38% chance to crit. And neither of them critted, but that's still 1,000 rep points. Drop it in the mailbox. We'll pick our stuff out first. Send that to Galandriel. And roll on to the next one. But within about 10 minutes, I can cycle through all 6 of my characters on Arkenstone and easily put 10 to 15,000 rep points together. And I did the crafting last night, and I'll do it again tonight. And Galandriel will have 2 days worth of crafting to turn in, and we'll make some major headway in finishing this up. I added pictures of the cosmetics yesterday for those who wanted to see. He's just jelly because he wants in. It's like a quilting circle, but more variable. Exactly. Deeds, 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 and deedy. So, this is Lenorian. She is my minstrel. She's also an historian, which means she's a scholar and a weapon crafter. We'll do the weapon crafting first. %38 chance to crit. And she critted, so that's 1,500. We go over to the Scholar's Bench. The main thing is just to keep an eye on your item levels and make sure you're keeping them all stocked. Did not crit, but that's okay. That's 2,000 more rep points. And we'll send that off to Galandriel. We'll move on to Mirabella. She is my 56 level Hobbit Burglar. You guys are also bored out of your mind. You're just talking amongst yourselves now. That's okay. Woodworker, Host of the West. Yeah, she was out of wood. Those 6 pieces are the 6 I just sent her. So that was timely. And I have weaponsmithing, but not woodworking. So we're not going to probably crit, although I got a 25% chance. We'll see what happens. It probably ain't going to happen, though. And that's okay. That was not me who critted. No, I did crit. Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay. Blind squirrels and acorns. Now we go over to the weaponsmithing table. Host of the West, Gondorian weapons. And what do we have for weaponsmithing? Elder weaponsmithing lore. Not the best I could use, but I got them, so I'll use them. 33% chance to crit. Double crit. Very nice. So that's 3,000 rep points. We're going to mail those off. And this all up in ya is what I meant by a crafting orgy. I've just been doing this all week and having fun with it. So when you've got a bunch of Anorian crafters and crafting has seemed almost useless for the last 6 months or so, it's nice to actually realize it's like, oh, hey, this is crafting love. I can actually take advantage of all of this crafting skill. And I will. So that was Mirabella. I think Nemini's up next. She's my level cap hunter. For those of you who wonder why some players have so many alts, there is a purpose to it, this being one of them. Hey Liam, how's it going? Yeah, check out your Discord. I replied to it already, all up. Very nice. Southern Belle's enjoying company while she works. How is your weekend going so far, Liam? Off to a good start, I hope? What is that 40 Thieves announcement, or is it all just a surprise for after the crafting orgy? And who the heck is unknown? Not sure who said it. It's just a wise saying. So the woodsman is a little bit disappointing because they can farm and harvest wood. They only have one true crafting skill. So most of my other characters can make 2 things for Host of the West faction rep. Keeping the mailboxes cleaned up. So the woodsman can do woodworking. Weston Woodman's lore. I must have still had a scroll in effect. It didn't change at all. Still a 40% chance to crit. See how we do. No go. Mirabella hit both times with a lower percentage, and Nemone couldn't do it once. That's okay. Still 500 rep. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. We'll send that to Galandriel. And last but not least is Shanaria. Shanaria is a 56th level Guardian? Maybe 54th. I think she's my lowest level character on Arc. Pre-Mordor, aside from raid gear, I still think crafted still tops everything else. I am self-sufficient, and my toons all support each other. Other helpful peeps help me, not self-sufficient. We'll do it in a little bit. I just want to get through the crafting stuff. We're almost done with it. We are moments away, Zinger. Moments away. The tough part will be getting everybody woken up for the announcement, but that's okay. We'll deal with that in a moment. So Shanaria is 54th level. And she can do metalsmithing and tailoring. I don't think she's got any tailoring scrolls. We'll get the tailoring knocked out. %25% chance to crit. Oh, goody. We do have some universal crafting scrolls. That boosts her to 38. So we'll give it the old college try here on Gondorian garments. And miss, but we still got 500 rep points. We come over here, switch over to Metalsmith. Host of the West. Now I have a bunch of journals for metalsmithing and weaponsmithing, but you can only use one a week unless you go out and get some of the advanced recipes. So we critted. So that's 2,000 more rep for Galandriel. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Big Ed quote of the day. I'm choosing the wood because we all need more wood. Exactly. Like I said, that quest gives you wood, but not in the good way. Just in the crafting way. So I just got all of that stuff that I just mailed myself. Now the problem is I'm clear out here in western Gondor. How the heck do I get back to the wastes? Like that. Oh, I don't want to go there anyway. I want to go to the camp of the host. Like I said, I'm not a smart man. You guys all knew that already, though. Arcast! Howdy, bud. We are hitting the crafting hard and heavy tonight, Arcast. I've been walking everybody through my pathetic method for crafting greatness in the wastes. Deed complete. Oh, enemies beneath. That raised my loyalty to 24 from 23. And I got a heritage symbol and some Lotro points. I like Lotro points. Deed bestowed. Enemies beneath the hill, 1 of 3. So there's a meta deed. Leaders beneath the hill. Complete the Tower of the Teeth, enemies beneath. And I think the leaders under the hill is a meta deed where you kill the leaders in the 2 instance dungeons over and over and over and over. So I got that to trip, but we'll have more work to do. And as previously stated, I don't really have to do any more general Northithilian rep. I managed to get to celebrated, which is a good thing. So, let's see, best way to do this. One of my problems is I'm actually not that far away from maxing out rep with the weaponsmith. Got about 17,300 points to go. So let's go ahead and get that done.
Ithilien is crawling with foes.
So those are 100 apiece. That's 3,000. $4,000. 4,500. 5,500, 6,500, 8,000, and the armor is worth 500 apiece. $9,500. $12,500. $15,500. Okay, that's not quite going to get us there, but that's really close. So that's exciting stuff. Oh, Ooh, boy. I miscounted. I've got 2 armors left over. Bound to account. So I can send that off to Nemini. And I am now maxed out with the armor. Oh, that's why I wasn't even... Okay, I was on the wrong dude. Completely okay with that. I thought I was on Weaponsmith. So you have to pay attention. I've managed to go up to Friend. Oh, so I can still do those. Okay, good. Well, it worked out better anyway. But yeah, you can generate tons and tons and tons of rep in just a couple days by grinding your crafting. Deed bestowed. Deed complete. That's where I got 2 extra armors. I got an essence box. I got more Lotro points. So that's exciting. And most importantly, boys and girls, I cleared up some pack space. So that was super fun. That's what I've been doing most of the week in Lotro. Running those 2 crafting instance dungeons, spreading the materials around, crafting all the stuff, sending it to Galandriel. So what I thought was going to take weeks or months is actually going to take days. I can have her all maxed out in no time. That would have been enough to get her maxed out with Weaponsmith, and I did armor instead, which is fine. Though I didn't have to worry about going over. As long as I'm here, we can do task turn-ins. So I know you're all excited for that. So we have eaten on camera, we have crafted, we've done lots of inventory management. And all of those slimy things I killed, boom, prismatic carapaces, and I am choking on reeking filth, which is not normally a good situation, but in this case it's acceptable. And the one thing that helps me with, of course, is item XP. Do your daily task turn-ins. They're good for you. You get experience points. You get item experience points. You may get worsted experience points. You can gain reputation. You get task item turn-in titles and task item turn-in cosmetics. And as you turn in more task items, it also unlocks the ability to turn in yet more task items. So you can accelerate all of that stuff faster and faster. Plum Crazy must be dragging a lag cloud around behind him. And that's 10 of 10 for task turn-ins. I am capped for the day. Okay, so big announcement for the 40 Thieves, as promised. I talked to Alapenya. I wanted to do some group stuff with the family on Brandywine. We've got 85 members of the kin. The idea was to build up the group and kind of have enough people around to do stuff, and I think we're there. The tricky part will be getting enough people to show up that are of similar level. Worst case scenario, if we get somebody who's 18th level, somebody who's 36th level, somebody who's 56th level, and somebody who's 105, maybe go do epic battles. I mean, hopefully it won't come to that every week. But starting Wednesday night, I am going to be running on my channel. We're going to call it Wednesday Night Heists. It's going to be for the burglars on Brandywine. We're going to be doing group content. If nobody shows up, I'm just going to go run instances by myself. If other people show up, we'll figure out what we want to do and go do it. But we had a lot of fun initially doing burglar instances, getting groups of 3 and 6 burglars out, going through some of the different instances, practicing the fellowship maneuvers, and we want to do it on a consistent basis. I know that Mort and All Up are normally on Wednesday nights, and they're both officers in the kin. Now, Mort's going to be starting a Mordor series once the new expansion launches. He'll probably be off doing his own thing, and that's perfectly fine. And All Up may join us. He may go do other stuff. But I will be on every Wednesday if possible, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably run until 11 o'clock Eastern, just depending on how things go, maybe a 3 or 4 hour session. And if you have a burglar on Brandywine and you want to join us, if you have a different character on Brandywine, reach out and let us know, and maybe we'll take you along. Even if we're not all burglars, we'll go run some instances. But we've got a whole kinship full of burglars. It's time to go knock out some group content. And even though Little Ed is 95th, I haven't touched any of the instances in Moria. I haven't touched any of the instances in a lot of the different sections. So it would be nice to be able to go back and do some of that stuff, even if I'm over level. Just to be able to go do it, experiencing it on a burglar is a lot different than experiencing it on most other character classes. So I'm going to throw out a Wednesday night heists, except I have to remember how to spell heists. That's height. Heists. There's a hashtag for you. Wednesday night heists. We're going to be doing group burglar content on Brandywine. Anybody who wants to come join us is welcome. Preferably you're a member of the 40 Thieves. If you haven't gotten a kin invite and you want one, just reach out to the officers. If you are on Brandywine, maybe you've got a Guardian, maybe you've got a Runekeeper, you want to run a different character class, we'll probably have room for you. So, thank you for the shout out, All Up. But would love to see a bunch of you guys over there. Gnarly Rage, howdy howdy, good to see you. And yeah, we're going to do that. So you're going to see some more announcements from me. I'm going to change the daily message on the for the kin on Brandywine. We'll have it announced Wednesday night heists. And I might send some tweets out, and we'll get some more announcement about Wednesday night heists. It's going to be tough to say. I wanted to catchphrase, and it didn't seem that tough to say when I thought it up. So I thought Wednesday night heists had a nice ring to it. But I'm tripping over it now, so I'm a little weary tonight. It's been a long week at work. But we're going to do some more burglar stuff as a group, and we had a lot of fun when we did it, but it kind of seems like, it's tough to get a group together. But I think the key to it is if we have a set time, we're going to go do it, and that will be a thing. Also, having talked to All Up Enya, All Up has been running a 7th to 105th level group. And I'll refresh the details on that. What server are you guys running on? He's got 5 other people who join him for that, and they're all going out and leveling together. He would like a second group started. He's had requests for more people who wanted to join, and he's asked me if I could get a second group up and running, with the thought being that once we get to 50th level, once we get to 65th level, when we actually get to raid level content, we'll need 6 groups. Satan?
Ed, this is your tummy. I'm hungry.
All right, Tummy. I've got Cheez-Its. I'll take care of you right now.
I don't think I do it as well as you.
It's all right.
So where were we?
Brandywine for Burglars Arcast. That's correct. Yeah. So what server are you running the 7th to 105 group?
The Crick Hollow.
Oh, okay.
And there's myself, Maiden of Rohan, Cryles, Delarfin,
Mm-hmm.
Mary Rose, and Elder James. So yeah,
Okay.
I am looking for another group of 6 to kind of run, not really necessarily with us, but at the same time and try to get, up to our level and keep pace. So once we hit the 12-man stuff, we can all group up. So I didn't know if you wanted to take that or if somebody else, another streamer or anybody really.
No, we'll do that. We talked privately, and I figured that most of the other streamers would probably be jumping into Mordor, and I have to wait a couple months because I'm going to be buying it with Lotro points. So when everybody else goes to Mordor, I'm going to start a new first-level character on Crick Hollow and run this. But, yeah, I like to jick when everybody else jacks. That's just how I roll.
Same.
And this is your chance. If you've always dreamed about being able to play alongside world-famous streamers, you are crap out of luck because All Up and I do not qualify. But,
Right.
At least we're willing to hang out with you. So come join us on Crick Hollow. I will probably run that on Friday nights. Kind of depends on if I get feedback from people and everybody's like, yeah, I'd love to do that, but I don't want to waste my Friday nights hanging out with you, Ed. I know a lot of people feel that way, including Mrs. Mustafa. So I am flexible on the time, but I thought it would be fun if we could do it on stream. There's been some talk that, boy, it'd be nice if we showed more group content. And maybe it would be nice to demonstrate that, you don't have to be 105th level to do group content in Lotro. There's plenty of cool stuff to do at 20th, 30th, 40th level.
Yep.
And All Up and his group have been having a lot of fun by all accounts. And the good news is if you come and hang out with my group, you don't have to hang out with All Up, so you won't sully your reputation. Exactly. And you guys can shoot me a message in Discord or, just hit me up with a whisper if you think that's something you want to jump into. If you normally play Friday nights, all the better. If you don't want to play Friday nights, let me know what night works for you.
That
Big
seems
Ed
to
and All
be-
Up are not fact. That's true.
That seems to be the issue is we're doing ours on like Saturday morning. And we came into summer, so everybody's got something going on. So it's you kind of got to be flexible. But there's 2 of my group right there, Dale and Mary Rose. Hello, ladies.
There you go. Hi, Mary Rose.
Got our cast already. I know that Cookie Mama and Owl wanted to do it, so I don't know if you can hit them up. I know that they were looking at it.
I'm laughing. Dell says, cool, Big Ed, look forward to your new tune. And she says that now, but in a couple of months it's going to be, oh my God, I can't believe Big Ed got the entire other group wiped. What an idiot. You're going to hear that a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm here for you. We're going to go out in a blaze of glory.
Mary Rose is our tank. She's our guard, and she's a little hobbit guard, and I'm the healer. So we all kind of played something that we're not used to.
That's fun.
But of course, you got to think we're running around as 6 people, so we're not really going to die unless we are dumb or just get into something and the healer sucks, which is me. So
Yeah. So you guys will die a lot.
yeah.
That's all right. Hopefully somebody's a
I'm already-
backup healer.
Yeah, we have Krause as a captain. We have a pretty good, spread. So that's what I would suggest is trying to get one of everything. Just not everything, but the major ones,
Get a nice variety, sure.
So what you doing tonight, brother?
Well, we've been talking a lot about the wastes crafting to get ready for Mordor because those sub-faction dudes have all the good jewelry and stuff, and they have the
Right.
upgrades for the raid armor, and so you got to get maxed out with them, and if you don't craft, it's going to be really tough. But if you like crafting and you've got several alts that are at Honorian Master Crafting, I just banged out almost 20,000 rep points tonight. So
Nice.
just wanted to show the methodology and talk about resource gathering. The resource gathering probably looks different if you're doing it with a woodsman I can't harvest wood, so that's probably where the cloth is coming from, and the obviously the lumber. But so that's the thing.
We need to get you a big ed counter so we can, add up the ed points. So you've got Coke Zero done.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the eating on stream done.
Coke Zero is never
You've got
done.
the crafting done. And you've got the crafting. You've got inventory management. Now we just need some fishing, and I can go to sleep.
There's one thing I have not managed to do yet, and I actually have a new introduction for this as well.
Hello, maiden.
I wonder where that fish has gone.
You did love it so. You looked after it like a son.
And it went wherever I did go.
Is it in the cupboard? Wouldn't you like to know? It was a lovely little fish.
And it went wherever I did go.
Where can that fish be? It is a most elusive fish.
And it went wherever
Honestly, until I turn the sound on the stream up.
Fishy, 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 fish.
A fish, a fish, a fish, a fishy, oh.
Oh, fishy, 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 fish.
That went wherever I.
Here we go. I'm excited.
You'll sleep like a baby after this.
Right.
Larry Anna asked me to play some Python, so that was for him, even though I don't know that he's wandered over to join us yet. Hopefully he's having a great Friday night. I know he was streaming earlier. And Maiden, welcome. Maiden and I were just talking the other night about how many times you have to fish in order for it to count as fishing on stream. I told her at least 3 casts and 3 catches. So, my first one, I caught a flounder. I always like getting the game fish for cooking ingredients. Ooh, I'm 2 for 2. I got a carp on the second cast. Two carp and a flounder. So that is what I call value streaming. Now we're barely 2 hours into it tonight, and I've already completed all 5 Tedments. But we're not stopping there. We're going to keep the good times rolling, boys and girls. There is plenty more Adventures After Dark to come. So I'm going to pop home. That's not home. Where's home? There it is. Travel to personal house. So I got to put the fish away. They got to go in the storage chest now. And then we're going to switch over to Brandywine, and we'll see what little Ed Mustafa's up to.
I'm not going to let you know what my tune names are on Arkansas.
I'll find out eventually. If you have his tune names, feel free to rat him out so I can send him fish in the mail, please.
Oh, God, Arcast. No, bro, I got a house full of kids. Thanks for the invite, though. I may come over there and watch you. Oh, there, Arcast. Try to keep them from killing each other.
Somebody having a sleepover?
Yeah, my son had one over night before last, and then my daughter has one tonight. And then we're going to a buddy's house tomorrow for his daughter's birthday, and I'm sure she will stay over there. So it's all over the place.
There's lots of driving around.
Bella, how are you?
Bella, howdy! So, okay, so far tonight we've covered how to be a crafting god in the wastes. We've talked about the Wednesday night heists. If you've got a burglar in the 40 Thieves, we're going to be doing group content on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be putting a second 7th to 105th group together on Crick Hollow. And maybe doing that on Friday nights if that fits people's schedule. So I'll make some more announcements about that, put it in Discord, maybe send out a tweet, and we'll see if we can get some suckers to sign up and follow along for that. So I'm going to switch servers. I have to exit the game. That's a thing.
Wish they would change that. That would be awesome. You don't have to log out if you want to switch servers or whatever.
Well, if that's the worst thing you have to do, life's pretty good.
Guess so.
It probably prevents a bunch of exploits by not having all the servers tied together. Just a hunch.
Could be.
Maiden gonna get player unknown battlegrounds. I'm trying to picture Maiden just getting really salty in the middle of a first person shooter match. Getting all Ned Flanders-ish. Gall diggity darn it!
Oh, heck, fire shoot!
There's our friendly standing stone logos. And Mishi Bug's here. Howdy.
Hey, Mishy. Yeah, Bella, you just missed him fishing. He's done all the Edmonds.
I rolled out a new fishing theme tonight, too. Straight from Monty Python. I mean, this is, as far as streams go, I'm actually putting this much effort into it tonight. You guys are really getting a treat. So...
Huh?
Mrs. Mustafa's making another appearance. Hello,
We get
Mrs.
hand?
Mustafa.
More
Yeah,
hand?
the disembodied hand of Mrs. Mustafa, clawing at my face, wishing she could kill me without the authorities questioning her.
That's pretty funny. She needs to make an appearance every stream.
She's been pretty consistent about it the last few weeks, actually.
And just like put her finger like right by your face, but don't really touch you.
Are you
That's
warm
awesome.
in here?
I'm not cold. You adjust the thermostat, honey. I will make myself comfortable.
Gamer. Hello, Hand
Want
of
another
Doom.
fan?
Gamer's got it exactly right. Okay, put in your guesses for Hobbit Prize. Nobody guessed Matham Hunter's Armor in time, so I do not have to give away a free car.
Dang.
You want the fan on?
No. If you want to turn the air down a bit, I wouldn't mind, but I'm fine either way.
Hello, Condar.
Anyway, Mrs. Mustafa says hello to everybody. Bella says, Mrs. Mustafa's an actual person and not just a disembodied arm. Eldolith can vouch for that. She and the Cookie Mama and Lady Gun have all met Mrs. Mustafa and Desert Owl.
I'll be right back, bro.
All right. There's nothing more embarrassing than having the Cookie Mama take Mrs. Mustafa aside when we were hanging out and going, "Why did you marry him? What were you thinking?" She lost a dare. That's all that happened. All right, honey. Do we have any more Coke Zero in the fridge? She's going to check for me, bless her heart. So little Ed Mustafa is 95th level. He has been working Western Rohan and is pretty close to getting ready to head to Fangorn. But book 1, Journey Through the Paths of the Dead. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that tonight. Got too much to do before I head into Gondor. So let's see what I do have in the queue. Broadacres is probably a thing. Monsters or Madness. Unidwaith is all gray. Entwash Vale's all gray. I don't need to go to Aragian. I do have a quest for Fangorn. Kingstead is probably for realsies. Limelight, Moria, Norcross, Stone Deans is real. And that's 5 quests. Westfold. Let's remove that one. And add the Westfold one. Actually, it looks like most of these are ready to turn in. I think they just start new quest chains. But you don't want to skip anything out in Western Rohan. There's too many trait points to be picked up. So we will get back to it. Let's see if I had a travel skill. Harwick. Stoke for the win. Knew I had a tie out there somewhere. Coke Zero, diabetes for life. It's sugar free. There is no sugar in Coke Zero. That's why they're changing the name to Coke Zero Sugar. I am still drinking the old formula. In fact, if you saw my Twitter message, we just picked up 5 more 6-packs of the original Coke Zero today. So, and I will again restate my theory that Coke did not need to change the name other than they wanted to change the formula to a cheaper sweetener. And they're just using the name change as cover so they don't have to admit that that's why. I think the cost of their sucralose just got too high, and they want to make more money than they were making off of the current formula. Just a pet theory. I've got no evidence to back it up. I'm just talking out of my butt, like I do about most things. You poured me a warm one instead of getting a cold one out of the fridge. All right, thank you. What?
Take a sip.
Okay. What?
Another one.
Why?
Because.
Okay. Mrs. Mustafa's insisting that I continue sipping Coke Zero. Good? Are we okay there?
Huh?
Thanks, Pookie. That is a lot of epic book contests, and I should clean that up. Wow, nice. Yeah, Mishi Bug, you have to remember Alapanya is just basically a bullet sponge in any shooter that he plays. I've been doing my best, Southern Belle, to wipe out the existing stock of Coke Zero. My theory is they were so successful with new Coke, they didn't see how they could fail changing the recipe for another product. Yeah, the idea that they sell out of Coke Zero around here all the time. They've been reducing the number of different formats that they sell it in. It's not available in Fountain as many places as it used to be. It isn't that people aren't buying Coke Zero, it's that they're not making it available. That's why I think they're just trying to change the costs, as it were. Okay, find somebody in the Stone Deans. We can do that.
How's my hair?
And your hair looks lovely, honey. Mrs. Mustafa is truly a vision of loveliness. Help me. Hopefully you guys remembered the code.
Oops.
Hey, it's the Stone Deans. Who knew? Just followed that arrow that said it was pointed towards the Stone Deans, and I rode right here. That is fantastic. I could not be more excited. I too will continue saying Coke Zero regardless. Stone Deeds Exploration, the Roaring Hills. I've discovered the Roaring Hills. Oh, here's the road I probably need to be on. Tell Mrs. Mustafa to watch Dial M for Murder. She's probably seen it. Yeah, Coke Zero just sounds cool, but Coke Zero Sugar, it's like, why is there zero sugar? All of a sudden you start to question it. I wanted sugar. Why would you take sugar away? And then you get all upset. Instead of focusing on the Coke part, you focus on the zero sugar. I don't think it's a good change. In fact, if I were the Coca-Cola company, I would have seriously considered making the change without mentioning the formula change. I wouldn't have renamed it or anything. To the Stone Deans.
What is happening to these lands?
Do not be afraid.
I am afraid what is happening to these lands.
A little more for the road. Collect chicory.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Defeat bears, collect bear hides. That seems very, very linear. And we've got a small fellowship warband out here. Since I am a burglar, I will decline trying to solo him. Let's see if we can get into our stratagem mode. I don't know why disguising myself as an orc would be effective against bears. We'll try it. That was a pretty good whack. I hit him for about 14,000 points. So that's why I tried stratagem. It's pretty cool. If you don't crit, then it takes a really long time. Anybody remember New Coke? I remember New Coke. Red Salt action soon. Here, here. I think everybody would like some Red Salt action soon. Nice one-shot kill. At least the crits are hitting tonight. That makes short work of it. And stratagem is not on a particularly long cooldown, thankfully. Nice. 2 one-shot kills in a row. Mounted combat does not have to totally suck. It only feels that way a lot of the time. We'll go into stratagem. You got to get your fury built up, get into your disguise, and then get behind them. And if you can attack from the rear... See, that one didn't crit, and I still took him down by about half. But now it's going to take a little while to drop him. And there's that warband again. Another one-shot kill. Hooray for me. I will decline stopping to pick raspberries. Another one-shot kill. Of course, it helps that these are light blue mobs. Probably increases my chances for those. Just saying. And he turned on me. So now I gotta go back around. Here we go. Did not get the crit. So I actually have to work for this kill. Thankfully not too hard. I think I still need more hides. I need one more hide. And there's that warband notification again. That's a little annoying. Okay, so what have we learned about mounted combat? Always attack stuff way beneath your level. It'll make you look awesome even when you're not. So that's a thing. There he is. He did not drop a pelt. So that makes me sad. Missed the crit. And there's my 6th hide, so we're ready to head back. Oh, I never did find chicory. That was weird. Nothing quite like coming back and realize you totally blew off one of your quests. Like, oh yeah, that was a thing I was supposed to do.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Chicory. I didn't see any chicory on the landscape. Thankfully I don't have to kill any deer and get in trouble with Gussie Moose. Where is our chicory? I don't even see that quest listed anymore. Probably check and make sure I didn't just hallucinate the chicory quest. What do we got out here in the Stone Deans? That will lead me to the chicory. He did not make it. And there's the warband notification again. Chicory. That is fantastic. Alright, sorry about that. Mounted combat makes it tough to follow chat. Kiki2424, howdy. Way to get it this time. Hey, Ed providing us with pre-Mordor lack of hype. Exactly, Deathman. Thank you for coming by to enjoy low-quality streaming entertainment. There are a lot of things you could be doing right now. I'm going to make you regret hanging out with me. Where is the chicory? Here's chicory. Elda's heading off. Elda, thanks for hanging out. Get some sleep. Good seeing you. I really appreciate you coming by, too. I really wish we had more of a chance to hang out together. That's the chicory I just picked. Why is this bear guarding this chicory? Yeah, I could not get turned behind him fast enough. That attack had a little chance of success. Burglar damage output is very positional. Maiden, you have a level cap burglar. You got any pro tips for mounted combat for burgs? That's a different warband notification. He's solo. We might go try him. Plus I haven't died on stream yet tonight, so let's make that happen. Actually, a solo dude like this, when I'm on my war steed, ought to be pretty easy pickings if he doesn't manage to knock me down. I can just keep circling around him and shred him. And Ogner went down. "42 marks. It was something to do. Okay. Warbands and Chicory. Be a good title for the stream. Nah, Ed, I suffered through worse deed required quests and never looked back. Just wanted to get them over with. And I am riding away from the chicory, so we will correct that. I'm going to decline that one. Somewhere there should be chicory. There's chicory. There's chicory. We are close on getting the chicory picked up. I mostly never know what I'm doing anyway. You just kind of hop on a horse and mash buttons. Not exactly breaking news. What the hell? I had targeted the wrong horse. The wrong bear. Alright. So here's my pro streamer tip for the night. Find all the chicory to complete the quest. And since some of you guys actually run with All Up on Crick Hollow, does he normally stream those gaming sessions? We can certainly plug that if you guys are going to be running tomorrow morning. You can check up All Up Enya, oddly enough, at twitch.tv/allupenya. And you've got a good chance of watching his 7th, the 105 group run. Of course, there'll probably be a 115 group before the end of the day. Crate up the chicory. Apparently that's a thing. You are welcome.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim. I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Find a member of the Reeves family. Probably in town. I'm not psychic, but that would tend to make sense. If you're aiming for a bear and kill a horse, you need to work on your aim. True story.
So near to Dunland. Many of the folk of this town share ancestry with the Dunlanding tribes.
Nona's
This
here.
looks like any other village of the Horse Lords to me.
Hi, Nona. Nona and Horn sitting in a tree. Kissing.
The blood of the hill tribes flows through me, but they are no longer my people.
Well, that is sad.
You wish to help? Good.
Dunlanding invaders. All those cows and sheep. And for those of you who haven't noticed it before, tonight I am sporting my Sheriff of Tiny Town outfit. I've got the cowboy hat and the duster going. I'm sporting dual rolling pins. See if we can zoom in on this outfit a little bit. And Terror of Tiny Town was a western that was made with all little people back in the early 60s. And the sheriff was a very dashing fellow, much like little Ed Mustafa here. This outfit is not only Terry Adwin approved, Terry Adwin personally selected this outfit for me to make my burglar look less bad. See what else we have for cosmetics. We've got the pink tracksuit with Mariner's eye patch and hat. This is the equipment I'm wearing, which is kind of a mess at the moment. Sort of a hodgepodge. And This is a cosmetic set of the Heligrod armor. I guess we'll stick with Sheriff of Tiny Town for now. I do not have the corresponding quest. Would you put together an all-yellow outfit, Gamer Gramp? I'd love to see that. Yeah, 100 times is going to be about right. There is a lot of running around through there. Woodhurst is a wear out. So I am supposed to wax some Dunlendings, so we'll go do that. And being as I'm a greedy burglar, it gives me an excuse to loot this chest too. So what do we want to do here? Turn 'em, aim. Coup de bye-bye. And that takes care of 2 Dunlendingers. Hopefully nobody will tell Nona I'm doing that. Well, the Reeve told me I was supposed to. It's not my fault. He did not make it. I burgled a lesser dexterous necklace of finesse, no less. Nice. excuse me, that came on so fast I didn't have time to mute the microphone. Yeah, Woodhurst can be an exercise in tedium after a while. There's just a lot of running back and forth and a lot of area to cover and a bit of searching.
The Dunlendings cannot defeat us, me and my son. We are invincible.
Well, you look pretty invincible there, Bal.
It is true. An old soothsayer lives among the mounds and speaks words of prophecy.
Talk to Horn at the entrance to Woodhurst. We can do that. And yeah, I probably want to go ahead and replace this old armor. My height bolt armor. Two different set items. I'm still getting a plus 25% critical multiplier with cunning attack. Hello, Horn.
Erebrand is a fool to believe the words of this soothsayer.
Talk to Nona.
A soothsayer lives in this land? I am filled with delight.
Reeva's gonna meet the soothsayer. That's a thing. Hansi, howdy, buddy. I know, can you believe all the awesome people that are hanging out in here tonight?
Let us see what Hildegard has to say of her own future.
Rubbish and nonsense. Erebrand may believe the words of this soothsayer, but I will not fall for her trickery.
We can only hope that she predicts another Seahawks Super Bowl victory. She's about my height. It's a pleasure to meet you, friend of Erebrand. Many are the roads you have walked to get here, and many more you will walk before you are at last given rest. Maiden derp. May I ask what adventuring discipline you carry your own? Little Ed Mustafa, do you believe in my gift? I do not know. Hunzi, I'm talking to the soothsayer, bud. That was way up there. Besides, if you called me a handsome young man, that just means you need to get your eyes checked. That's all. I appreciate it, though. This woman speaks in riddles and rubbish, little Ed. If she has knowledge of days to come, why does she not spell it for us plain? Were she to do, perhaps I would give her my belief, but until then I remain unconvinced. Tiger King, I am doing good. The wife is doing good. And I think we're hanging out with the niece and nephew tomorrow. Horn, wait. She sees a great battle. The soothsayer Hildegard stands upright, staring forward sightlessly. She still breathes, but she no longer appears to see either you or Nona. Yeah, a lot of thunderstorms tonight. Everybody was talking about being worried about their internet dropping and stuff going on.
We must do something. I need time to think.
Talk to Nona. Talk to Horn.
Rubbish and lies.
Now go talk to the Reeve.
How do you understand? Travel south to Brockbridge and meet with my son, Herefara.
Brockbridge. Rumors of battle. Okay, to anybody who's late coming to the stream, we had a couple of announcements earlier. We started off with crafting tonight, and then I broke the news. If you have a burglar on Brandywine, we're going to start doing Wednesday night heists. We're going to be doing group content with the burglar kin. If you have characters on Brandywine, but you're not in the 40 Thieves, yeah, look us up. We might be doing something where we could use an extra body or two. We're not that picky. It'd be fun to do all burglars, but we may not have that many burglars. So we'll just have to take it for what we can get. Also, All Up In Ya wants to get a second... there's a fence over here. I'm not going to be able to ride through, am I? Maybe I can. I don't remember. I don't know if this is blocked off or if I can actually sneak up to the mines through here. It's looking like it's blocked off. It's blocked off. Nope, I got through. Oh, this just puts me on the edge of town. Alright. Anyway, another 7th level to 105th level group on Crick Hollow. We're going to run in parallel to All Up's current group. Just meaning they're going to do their thing, we're going to do our thing. And eventually we'll all hit 50th level or so together. And be able to actually do raids. So we'll need at least 6 people in the new group. And if you've got any interest in that, you can contact me on my Discord page. You can send me a whisper. You can send me a tweet. You can mail me a case of Coke Zero. And that'll probably buy you a spot. So he's up here on the scaffold. We will dismount instead of trying to ride up there. But we're going to get a second group going in... Somebody attacking me? No. We're going to get a second group going on Crick Hollow. And I may actually do that Friday nights. Unless I get a bunch of people who are like, hey, I totally want to do that with you guys. But Friday nights aren't good for me. So... Yeah. It's an investment. The more hyped up I am on caffeine, the more streaming entertainment I can provide for you. Or as Deathman would call it, low-quality streaming entertainment.
Why don't we just give you a couple of monsters and a couple of Red Bull?
Yeah, I have to pace myself.
How you doing? Big Mustafa?
I'm doing great. We've had a great stream so far. I got through all the Tedments in less than 2 hours. We did a bunch of crafting stuff on Mine Worker. Where's the dude?
Yeah, I ask you a question. You pre-order mines and mine?
I have not. I'm actually going to wait and buy it with Lotro points. I'm waiting.
Yeah. You don't really get the cosmetic steeds and the cosmetic armor.
If I've got 4,400 Lotro points, I'm going to wait and buy it with points. It's like, gee, I wish there was a quick way to get down there. Oh yeah, I'm a burglar. Safe Fall. Safe Fall is awesome.
But your wife's doing good, I take?
Yeah, Mrs. Mustafa's good. She had a little bit of an upset tummy, but nothing serious.
What did she eat?
We went out to the flying field tonight, and she had a couple of brats off the grill.
What's up, flying field?
I fly radio control airplanes. And we have a club here in town, and tonight was our general meeting for the club. And we went out there and grilled out, and some of the guys flew.
What do you fly? You fly like commercial jets or just like low-end planes?
Sport planes mostly. A sport plane by definition is a radio-controlled plane that is not modeled after a full-scale plane.
I thought you flew like full-scale planes.
Oh, no. These are toy airplanes.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, you think you hooked me for the ride?
No, as badly as I fly radio control, I can't imagine anybody getting into a plane with me at the yoke. That would just be suicide.
Oh, come on, sir, you went that.
Yeah, I do okay.
Your stream is hiccup.
Well, you know.
Just to let you know in case no one else.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Chromite spent a good deal of time working with me to try to tweak it, and
What's your bit rate, too?
it's set to 3,500 per second, 3.5 meg. Well, my ISP is rated at, I'm on a 7 megabit upload plan, but I don't think I'm getting. Where the hell is his son?
You know, there's a secret about that. I don't have the link on my computer to how to get into the computer, but there's a secret. You know, your internet provider does not give you your full download and your full upload speed.
Yep.
They say they can't because if your internet connection goes down, they have to use the bit they don't give you to do what that happens. So basically, if you're paying for like 40 up and 40 down, they're not getting 40 up and 40 down.
Well, and ours is a lot more asymmetrical. The plan we're on is like 50 down and 7 up.
That's better than what I got. Me living out in the country, my internet's shitty. I can't even stream anything.
Ooh, Stable Master.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
But there's somebody to talk to back here. What did I miss?
You should have, maybe you and the missus and nephews should have.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Then maybe you and the missus and the nieces and nephews come to my area.
I thought you had lousy internet.
Yeah, but the internet's bad, but the country, scenery, beautiful. We got some of the best fishing. Yeah. Yeah, the best fishing, the best hunting, best all around. As if you like to hunt and fish.
Yeah, I fish quite a bit actually. Well, I haven't fished this year much. It's either been pouring rain or blowing 40 miles an hour. Haven't been flying many RC planes lately either. Where do I fish, or what do I fish for? I fish for largemouth bass and crappie and bluegill.
Oh, we have that. We have largemouth, smallmouth, and we have huge. I'm talking about huge catfish. If you want a challenge, you should come get some catfish. Just saying, if you and your family are looking for a vacation spot, I know some pretty nice areas up here that you guys are willing to drive. If you guys drive at or drive for, I get you guys up.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
My problem is Mrs. Mustafa. She is not outdoorsy.
Well, is she like, we have there's this cabin retreat that in the winter it gets pretty popular with like the ski resorts and just sitting by watching people go with their ski their snowboards and making hot coffee and hot chocolate. You guys just get to do that?
No, that's not really Mrs. Mustafa's thing either.
So, I'm not trying to sound like a salesman or anything. What does Mrs. Mustafa like to do?
I think her ideal vacation would be to stay in a 3 or 4 star hotel in Minneapolis and spend 3 or 4 days crawling through the Mall of America as thoroughly as humanly possible.
Oh shit, really?
Mm-hmm. Also, we are on the official Lotro stream. We're trying to keep it PG-13.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Didn't realize.
You can say shit and stay PG-13. You just don't want to be saying it a lot.
Okay.
So
I forget.
that's okay.
I'm not used to things very.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands. These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
I understand.
Well, maybe if Mrs. Mustafa doesn't want to do that stuff, maybe you and the nephew and nieces will be in winter, a couple days winter, and do some skiing or some sledding or some snowboarding. We have beautiful areas to snowboard and sled for the family. Not saying you'll have to bring her, but if
Yeah, it's one thing about married life. Very rarely do you ever get the chance to go on separate vacations. If you have too much fun without her, your wife will just murder you in your sleep, which she's probably going to do to me anyway, as we've already discussed. But
oh man, I think you don't give her enough credit. I think she sounds like from what I hear on your stream, sounds like a very awesome lady.
she is an awesome lady.
I mean, she puts up with you. I mean, that's gotta be a plus.
She deserves sainthood. Nobody's arguing that.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Unlock the meat hall door.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a 18. I don't know if you know what an 18.
Sure.
I'm thinking about getting one. Let's see what model here.
Gamer Gramp is heading out. Have a good night.
Oh, by the way, you happen to hear that in Texas, they're trying a new car deal thing?
Nope.
It's basically this giant round building. Looks like a vending machine.
Mm-hmm.
And you punch in what kind of vehicle you want, what year, what model, and it will bring down like a vendor's, like a candy machine. It will bring down your vehicle that you want to a robot, and then the robot will lease it to you or let you buy it, and then you don't have to talk to a person. You just do it and then bring it back when you're done.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It's the first one in the United States. If you YouTube it, it's called Car Vending Machine in Texas.
Victims of the attack.
But yeah, can you give a shout out to Evil Twin?
Sure.
We're doing a 10-hour stream tomorrow for the followers and people that have followed him in the past. President. It's gonna be doing Lotro and some other games during the day.
I always have the hardest time with evil twin spelling. Is that right?
I think so.
See what I mean? That's tough to remember with the...
I know, I have trouble too. I just, yeah.
But yeah, he's a terrific member of the Lotro streaming community. Happy to give him a shout out, and I'm sure a lot of people want to check out his 10-hour stream tomorrow.
Yeah. Can Maven hear me? Ohana Maven?
Maiden of Rohan? Probably, if she's paying attention. She might be watching TV or just sort of casually reading chat.
Oh, Maven, if you can hear me, you need to do another mustache. I was like, not me.
Well, if we can get her and all up to do some more Red Salt shows, that would be a good time.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Let's see what we
it's a
got
12
here.
stream? I'm sorry, I thought it was a 10.
What kind of stream is it? 12-hour stream, okay.
Hours. That was a 10-hour stream. My bad.
John's O'Head, thank you for the clarification. Yeah, Evil came by earlier. I think he was on his way to bed. He wanted to get rested up for his big stream tomorrow.
Oh, one more thing before I go back to your stream. When you get time tonight before you go to bed, look up a movie called Geostorm. I think you'll find
I am
it
afraid
very
of what is
interesting.
happening to these
It's called
lands.
EEO and then Storm. It looks 2017 trailer. It looks great. Like it.
A movie called Geostorm.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
There is no lack of things to be done.
Did,
I have need of your help.
did you know there used to be a car called the Geostorm?
No, sir. I don't know much about cars.
Okay.
I can tell you about guns and hunting, but cars.
Yep, now we got another
Meets with his
instance.
advisors to discuss the actions that they should take in response to the assault upon the Mead Hall of Woodhurst.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Nice outfit.
Caps don't matter. It's I's are ones and X's on the end. Well, then I had it right. Thank you, Zinger. He has an advisor named Elda. I wonder if Elda set up the Thane's Moobot for him.
What are you eating?
Cheez-Its.
Yeah, I can hear that looks close. your prediction was coming true.
It's been mentioned once or twice, yes.
All over Facebook. This is for anybody on the stream that can hear me. I cannot figure this out. Or not know. I don't know how to figure it out. But the king of Gondor, he defeated Mordor. But I know he had a son. What was his son's name when he defeated? He became the king of Gondor. And what was his son's name?
I'm not sure. If anybody can answer that, you can enter that in chat. Is your microphone okay? You're sounding a little faint tonight. Okay.
I have need of your help. There's no lack of things to be done.
Yeah, folks were talking about there have been a lot of storms everywhere. All you can do is hunker down and ride it out, I guess. The weather is the weather. Earthlyn, howdy. And Gravity's here. Good to see you both. All up in you was in chat. He might have fallen asleep, though. And that faint-sounding gentleman is Motorith. Morgoth. Morgorth. I'm pretty sleepy myself. Anyway, so you are sounding just a little bit faint. I don't know if you can boost your audio or not. But welcome, Earthlyn. Glad to see you here. And I need to talk to the captain of the guard.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Talk to the guards.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Investigate anything suspicious.
am afraid of what is happening to these lands. I do not know if we will survive.
Look for the stable hand. They are just murdering everybody around this town. Is there a stable hand back here? I know as a burglar I should be more tactful and guile, but sometimes you just need to go stab people in the face. Talk to the healer. There we go. There's a guard. Garat 2, welcome. Thanks for coming by.
Survive this onslaught.
And Gipio's here. There's Lariana. Everyone's a guard. Alright, you missed it earlier, Lariana. I played this for you. I'll go ahead and pop it on again real quick. Just because it's hilarious.
I wonder where that fish has gone. You did love it so. You looked after it like a son. And it went wherever I. Is it in the cupboard? Yes. Wouldn't you like to know? It was a lovely
These
little
are
fish.
desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Wherever I
do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Where can that fish be? It is a most elusive fish. And it went wherever I. Oh, fishy, 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 fish. A fish, a fish, a fish, a fishy, oh.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Fishy, fish. That went.
I got a pack of supplies from the healer.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
I need the Forge Master. That was by request for Lariana. I actually kicked off the fishing segment with that tonight. So hopefully that was to your liking. Oh, here's a guard I hadn't talked to yet.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
You probably won't. I bandaged Broda's wounds.
I am afraid what is happening to these lands.
Talk to the guards. Nope, no guards in there. Well, if I were a guard, where would I be? It's pointing directly behind me, and I didn't see anybody back there to talk to. Weird. This is a town with 2 taverns.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
A lot of pub crawling in this quest line. I like it. Technically, dwarves don't walk, they hop. There are moments in dwarves' walk animation where both feet leave the ground. You gotta like that.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands. I do not know if we will survive this onslaught. I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
The mine owner. Okay, my burglar is level 8. Ready to join you on Wednesday night heists. Well, maybe in a few more levels. Awesome. And we go to the kinship window. We will offer that to Gravidoc. Welcome aboard, Gravidoc. You are officially one of the 40 thieves, even though at present there are 86 of us, so that's a good thing. To folks who are just trickling into the stream, I am delighted to announce that beginning Wednesday, we're going to be doing a stream called Wednesday Night Heists. The 40 Thieves actually has 86 burglars in it, and we are going to start running group content, possibly with all burglars, Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. You don't have to stay for the whole night. You don't have to make it every week if you're not available. But if nobody shows up, I will be doing group content, or at least instances by myself. We'll see how many times I can run Rescue in the Rift alone on Little Ed here. I did it enough on Galadriel that she was kindred with the Eld gang without ever doing a full Rift run. But yeah, we're going to just mix it up. We'll see who shows up. We'll do some group content, do some 3-man and 6-man instances. Eventually would like to get it going steady enough with a solid enough group. Maybe we can try doing some raids and really getting a lot of burglars wiped all at the same time. It should be a lot of fun. But we did it a few times when the kin was still fairly new, and you know, you have to practice your fellowship maneuvers. When you're all burglars, it's essential for healing. You can get some yellow line burglars doing some heals and stuff too, but
I am afraid what is happening to
it's very unconventional. Yellow line burglars and fellowship maneuvers become very important in a group like that. So check out Wednesday Night Heists. I've scheduled it to try to coincide with All Up In Ya's stream. He is the kin chief of the 40 Thieves. His burglar is All Up Baba and the 40 Thieves. They want me to go bust Dunderling troublemakers. I just killed 10 of them earlier. Suppose I can go whack 10 more, but hopefully there's another guard or two around here. I'm supposed to see the mine owner. There's just a lot of walking around on this. We'll ride the red skeleton horse, I guess. That's the wrong horse. What the hell am I riding? Is that the Elf Ambassador's pony? Boy, they really want me to punish these Dunlendings. I've successfully burgled. I'm 2 for 2. I think I burgled the same guy earlier tonight. What did I burgle? A lesser enduring sword of protection. Well, that's not a bad burgle. That should be 2 ruffians down. That is not a ruffian, that is a fisherman. Let that be a lesson to you. I'm going to murder a bunch of Dunlendings, but the Dunlending that's fishing is immune. Fishing is always a good thing. And of course, little Ed is a complete angler. I just pickpocketed an emerald. So we are thinning out the herd here. Guess we'll go around the building. I failed to burgle. I'm deeply ashamed. He got coup de grace. There's 8 of 8 on Troublemakers. We'll ride the mighty War Goat of Doom back. Six yellow bergs for the win. Lariana's got it right. Lotro Ranger has just started watching. Hello, Lotro Ranger. Yeah, they've added tons and tons of great new content, Garat. There's like 5 or 6 regions to Gondor if you include Western Gondor, Central Gondor, Eastern Gondor, Far Anorian, Old Anorian, North Ithilien. I was out in the Wastes earlier, which is the kind of the precursor to Mordor. And the Mordor expansion drops Monday, the 31st. Mordor is going to be huge. I think everybody's really excited about it. Let me see if I can get there from here. Too far Anorian. Old Anorian, North Ithilien. These are all new regions. They did Eastern and Western Rohan. Tons and tons of great quests. Fangorn. There's an area in Eastern Rohan called Wildemore. That's got its own separate storyline that was pretty cool. The Wastes are up here. The Black Gate is in the game, which is pretty amazing. And there's Mordor. This drops Monday. So you got Mount Doom. This is going to be, I don't know how much of it drops initially, and then they're going to be adding some additional updates later. But everybody's really excited about it. The artwork is going to be very cool. They've got Chance Thomas doing the music for the Mordor expansion. They're upping the level cap to 115. There's going to be a new raid, lots and lots of cool stuff. A new race, you can play as a high elf. There's going to be such a thing as high elf captains, which will be new. So that's a whole lot of ground they're going to add. So it should be very cool. It'll be neat to see what they do with it. So even though I'm probably going to wait and get it with Lotro points instead of launching day one, don't think I'm not excited for it. I think it's going to be very cool. He must be inside that sawmill. Go up the stairs, maybe? Yep, here he is.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim. I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Talk to the shop owners. I am known to the Helminghus. Now working on friend status. I've officially been friend zoned, and none of the Helminghus will date me. You're just a friend, little Ed.
do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
I also do not know if I will survive this onslaught. I like my chances, though, because I can turn invisible. And I've mentioned it before, but one of my buddies has a t-shirt that explains the 4 stages of tequila. The 4 stages of tequila are: I'm beautiful, I'm rich, I'm bulletproof, and I'm invisible. So a burglar is at the 4th stage of tequila.
Our mission is dire. What brings you to these lands?
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Must have accidentally turned floaty names off. Yep, floaty names are now on. Uber Andy, howdy. Katriana says, is the game lagging bad, or is it just the stream hitching? Game feels pretty good, actually. I think it's the stream hitching. When I was out in the wastes, I was getting a lot of lag, but I think there's a lot of people out in the wastes. But it could be a Twitch issue. It could be an issue with my ISP. What the hell am I? I just clicked on something very, very wrong. That's highly annoying. I do not wish to be here. Huh. I wasn't paying attention and I must have clicked on Return to Snowborn for no particular reason. Well, we will go back to Stoke and ride back to the Stone Deans. That's what I get for not paying attention. I was trying to read chat. Wildemore is underappreciated. It's a beautiful area. Gone to Gondor tunics on sale at Rivendell, too. Yeah, we were talking about all the changes. Had it on another channel, too. Might be Twitch. Very well could be. Bit monitors jumping up and down. You're dropping hella frames, my man. Hi, Clive. Suspected Twitch issue, not the norm for bandwidth to dance like that. Let's check OBS and see what OBS says. Oh no, he's right. I got 10% drop frames. Not very cool. I'm cycling green, yellow, red, green, yellow, red. Bandwidth has gone to hell. Well, based on that, and the fact that I ran an extra 45 minutes, which isn't unusual for me. Usually nobody's on after me. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I've got to do some writing just to get back to where I was, since I hit a travel skill by mistake like an idiot. I think we all know what I say about that.
Not a smart man.
I'm not a smart man. There you have it, straight from the horse's mouth.
Look at Big Ed Mustafa.
You'll be able to find Big Ed Mustafa right back here next Friday night, hopefully when Twitch is acting better. I stream every Friday here on Lotro Stream from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. I live in the Central Time Zone, so the wheel's turning where my brain translating that. And Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll kick off Wednesday Night Heists. So come out for that. All Up Enya will be streaming on Lotro Stream at the same time. If he joins me, we'll stream simultaneously. If he's doing something else, you can watch All Up, you can watch me, you can watch somebody else. Mort will be streaming too. I think Mort's planning on streaming Mordor, so if you want to see Mordor, you can check out Mortumbra. You can check up All Up here on the official. You'll be able to catch Wednesday Night Heists on my channel, which is Big Ed Mustafa. And I'm super tired. I had a really long, tough week at work. We've been super busy. I ended up staying late several nights, and am looking forward to going to sleep. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight. We just had a great crowd. It was so nice to see everybody. Lots of fellow streamers in the chat tonight, which is always heartwarming. You guys are willing to put up with me for a little while. So I very much appreciate that. I could sit here and give shout outs all night, but I'll just give you my very, very sincere thanks. Nothing's more heartwarming than having, 40 of your Lotro playing friends to stop by and hang out with you. So we did some crafting stuff and talked a lot about how to gain rep in the wastes. If you've done the crafting and you've got your characters and your alts all leveled up, you're going to find getting the kindred ratings with the sub-factions in the wastes very easy. I put up almost 20,000 rep points tonight. I'm finding it pretty easy to blast through that stuff. It's easy and fun to do. That's about it. We fished, we ate on camera, we crafted, we did inventory management, and we did task turn-ins. It was a successful night. We put some experience points up on little Ed right before I zapped him out of the zone where he was actually questing. Not my brightest move, not the dumbest thing I've done either. So be sure to check out McVegan Pants. Should be on Lotro Stream tomorrow morning. And if you guys have not had a chance to check out Spilo yet, I think Spilo is streaming Sunday mornings. He does raid content, he does endgame content, he does player versus player out in the moors. His stream is called The Warg Talks. He plays a warg out in the Etten Moors. Tons of enthusiasm, lots of energy, and information just spills out of him while he's streaming. It was really fun to watch. His first couple of streams are up on the Lotro channel on YouTube. If you missed those the first time, you can go back and watch them on YouTube. He got like 200 views each the first couple of days those were available. So lots of people are checking out Spilo. Great addition to the team. Folks who came by here tonight, check them out. Throw them a follow if you haven't already. All Up Enya, of course, my partner in crime occasionally. Maiden of Rohan was here tonight. Earthland, terrific streamer. Not necessarily on Lotro stream, but I know the Budafist came by. Larry Enna's doing some streaming. Hopefully I'm not going to miss some folks. I know Eldolith was here. Evil Twin stopped by tonight. Liam stopped by. I'm just going to scroll up. Gamer Gramp was here. Gamer Gramp streams Lotro. Just tons and tons of great folks came by. And I'm probably missing a few folks. My apologies for that. But my brain is starting to... Speaking of great streamers, M-Dog Gaming. I totally missed you coming into chat. I am so glad I went back to look. M-Dog, howdy howdy. M-Dog streams a variety of different games. Streams Lotro occasionally. You can certainly throw M-Dog a follow. My apologies for not saying hi earlier. I'm a little fuzzy, to be honest with you. I'm even having a hard time reading the text. I probably should have been in bed a couple hours ago. Who else did we have come through? Lots of folks. That's probably enough. My apologies to anybody I missed, but like I said, I'm sleep deprived, so I'm going to call it a night. Let's see if we've got anybody that we can host or raid. take a peek out there. Just because I'm exhausted doesn't mean we can't keep the party going somewhere else, but I'm looking around and somebody else is streaming. We got a bunch of Lotro streamers on. Proof plays, or Proc plays. Lush is drunk. Oh, M-Dog is on. That's my bad. And Kurai Panda. Kurai Panda is an old Lotro player who just came back to check out the game. I would encourage you to go check out Kurai Panda if you get the chance. Since M-Dog came in to say hi and I derped, we're going to go raid M-Dog Gaming. So let's see what we're going to do with that. Let's do a raid M-Dog Gaming. And you can actually cut and paste Lotro Stream raid with the 2 rockets. And just go drop that in chat. He'll know where it came from. But I'm going to do a quick 10 count, and then we'll pop over there. Thanks for watching, and hopefully Twitch is behaving for him better than it was for me.